Sweet. So no green mana. So I think we're going to mulligan this. And now we've got no blue mana, which is pretty typical. But I like having the Nissa against a control player. Planeswalkers are great against control decks because they allow you to just do consistent, just value, essentially. Whenever they cast a instant sorcery dragon, it can't be countered, which is fine. We don't do that anyway. And whenever they cast an instant sorcery, if they attack with Tigum, the spell gains rebound. Pretty cool. Yeah, we might as well attack because we've got no blue mana for the Geist Wave yet anyway. Just Sky Elder, okay. But wow, Migration Path. Now that's a top deck. We're going to get a couple of blues here. Wow, that is pretty ludicrous, especially with the Khan's Temporal Sundering after the Imoti or the Nissa. We'll see what they do here. So they're going to leave up 3 mana. Remember that even though we cast this, if this gets countered, we still get the Cascade, which is kind of awesome. Mistral Singer. This is just like a prowess tribal, I think. So go for the Imoti, we can leave up the Geist Wave. Wow, and we get Kazmina. That is pretty sweet because it means that we've got 2 ways to use the Khan's Temporal Sundering next turn. Because this requires a legendary creature or planeswalker. Let's scry. So we want to put more 6-drops on top. So yeah, scry is pretty important when your deck cares about the top deck. Any cards you put in that can manipulate the top deck are going to strengthen your plays. Consider double prowess. I really respect this deck. The Spellslinger deck. Spellslinger Azorius deck, which is not something you see very often. Normally Spellslinger is it colours? Ooh, Swiftfoot Boots. This prowess is getting groovy. Where's that Singer going then? She's going for the Kazmina. Let's see if we can bounce this to hand. Which might reveal a spell because I didn't equip the boots. God's willing. Ah, okay. So we lose a bit of life and we lose the Walker, which is sad, but we're going to get an extra turn now. Which is pretty mean, to be honest. We're going to bounce something, get an extra turn, and get a Cascade. So target player gets extra turn. We'll bounce the 3 CMC. Wow, and we get a Teferi. That is crazily good.
It takes impressive
And that's all you need to win the game. Okay, we go first, but this die hand is kind of bad. Is it bad? We don't have any blue, but we've got some strong cards. River's Rebuke, the One Ring, a ramp spell. Like all we have to do is get one more land, and I think we might be okay here. Wow, they get ramp on turn 1. That's not good to see. But the River's Rebuke might pull in a lot of work here, because we're a bit slow. They're not going to attack. That's interesting. So they have maybe a counter spell. Okay, so we're going to get a blue source to the field. That is nice. I wonder what they had. They did not want to attack, so they had 2 mana to do something. And it wasn't a negate. Maybe it was an Essence Scatter. Okay, so their shields are down once again. But they have access to 1 more colour than we do, so they're a bit scary than us, especially if Tamiyo gets to ultimate and they get Omniscience. Okay. Let's go for Imoti then. Get a bit of value here. We can bounce that to the hand. Okay. Not too shabby. And then we have the One Ring in the next turn to hopefully give us some value. And we can protect our things with the Snakeskin Veil. Well, we can protect Imoti with the Snakeskin Veil. Tekathal. So they get double proliferate. Ooh. That's not good. Double proliferate is going to be kind of scary. But I think I'm going to use the Whelming Wave on the next turn. Or, sorry, the River's Rebuke on the next turn. So let's do a bit of ramp here. And pass, holding up the Snakeskin Veil. Can they do anything crazy with this out next turn? Maybe. Proliferate twice is kind of scary, but it might involve them tapping out, so we shall see. Wow, they're really going for this proliferate route, aren't they? So now they proliferate twice and an additional counter. Druid, man, they're not going to be happy. If we resolve this River's Rebuke, they're not going to be happy, are they? Cascade into more mana. Wowzers. That could be enough, to be honest. That's so much. That's such a swing. Bounce all this stuff and get 2 mana into play. And then now swing at the invasion, getting a creature out of it. And they only have 5 mana. We have double their mana now. And if that was 6 mana, we would have cascaded as well. But it's... I think it's 4 mana on the other side of this. I think that's a CMC. It remembers the original side. And also adds more mana to our repertoire. So we could actually just use Whelming Wave as well to bounce the creatures back. Because we want to be able to play another 6-drop. We don't currently have one. Okay, let's go to combat. If they block the Imoti, I think we just give it a counter to let it survive. Okay, so they're going to take 7. Nice. We could use the Whelming Wave and then recast Imoti. Or we could go 4, 5, 6. We could go for the invasion again. And then plan future turns? Or is that just being greedy here? Let's go for a Planeswalker, I think.
What a strange and magnificent world.
So we missed out on a bit of damage there, but...
Harness the elements.
Next turn we could even ultimate this if we wanted. Tekkathol comes out again. But the Teferi, which might be actually good to phase out the Tekkathol as well. So ultimating is pretty awesome, right? Draw a card whenever you play it, whenever land comes in, is just crazily good.
Cannot be denied.
Jingataxius. Okay, so let's get out the Imoti. Return to nature so we can blow up the Ikamoon Gauntlet here. And then we've got Teferi, which might be handy. Just keeping that Tekkathol in check. Let's draw a card. I think we'll get rid of the invasion now. And if they cast anything that is a bit scary, we can just phase out the Tekkathol to stop the double proliferation. So something involving the Planeswalker and some other spells. And if we can just get out the Djinn. Ooh. Hellish Norn. So that's going to kill the Imoti. Damn, that's annoying, but... Interesting inclusion in their deck. I don't imagine it's to pump their creatures as much as just to kill ours. Just doing that. Okay. Let's try and phase them out here.
Stop right there.
Yeah, so we're going to need something good. Bounce and proliferate. Okay. I guess we can always... We can draw a card and then discard one. We'll see what we get here.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
Get rid of that. We get to draw a card when we play the land. Vivian Reed. So how much have we got? If we do this, we have 5 left. I think we go for Jingataxius here. And then we can bounce 2 things to their hands. Or we could go for the one ring. I mean, it will copy, but it won't really do much else. Three Jink attacks. This is a bit sad. Yep, I think we're just going to be patient and pass the turn here. I'm just kind of struggling to do 2 spells at once. Here comes Tamio.
You would make an
Growth
excellent
Spiral. So
informant
that gets
for my study.
countered. Sure thing. Did they mean for that to happen? Did they intend? Contentious plan. So now we can bounce the Tamio and the Elishnorn to their hands because they haven't used the Tamio. They're not going to get... Wow. Okay, just one trick was enough there. And even though they had such a powerful field, they were kind of banking on going for the double proliferate, weren't they? So that would have taken it to 6 loyalty, I think. But yeah, we got in there luckily with the double bounce. I still don't think they should have quit yet. Although maybe they thought we had an extra turn spell in hand, which would have been enough. But yeah, without the Elish Norn, we would have had a 5-5. They could have swung in at our Planeswalker and killed the Teferi. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Did they quit too soon? Tell me below. Okay, so this is like a pretty crazy hand. The Kasmina makes it really close to being a keeper. Oh, I'm going to risk it, right? We've got some powerful... Like, if these resolve, we're in for an absolute treat. We've got a little bit of removal to protect the Kasmina. If we can just grind to some ramp, that would be wonderful. Super friends. And the Kasmina plus Teferi is lovely as well. Confounding Conundrum is going to stop us ramping, but to be honest, not too worried about that just yet. If we had drawn a Cultivate there, that would have been hilarious. Right, so now we want to scry into an untapped mana source.
Focus on the future.
Okay, that's great. So then we can go for Teferi the next turn. If we just keep playing on curve, things should be nice. Their deck's going to be really slow. The Ward 2 is going to be annoying as well. But now we've resolved the Walker. Staff of Completion. Okay, I really want Narset now. Right, let's scry.
We must prepare for tomorrow.
Garrick. Oh my goodness, another Walker. Oh, go on then. This is going to be awesome. Right, now here's a bit of a quandary for you. Draw 1, discard 1, or scry 1, but you get +2. I think we're going to go for the +2, because think of how quick we're going to get to his ultimate. Yeah, we'll leave Garrick on top. We've got a land in hand anyway. Yeah, remember, we can do abilities of Teferi in anyone's turn, right? Including abilities that Kasmina grants him, which is just ludicrous. This Teferi is so good with this Kasmina. Something that I don't see very often. So if they play a land here, they can go for Jin, but it looks like they missed it. Wow, if we get to ultimate this, that's going to be crazy. Roll Still Heart. So they're dependent on these rocks. And we have a way to bounce 1 or 2 of them. Let us scry 1 again. See, now this is a bit less appealing because I know they're going to get Jin and we're going to struggle to deal with him. Oh, return to nature. Okay, let's use the scry on the temple first. Okay, land. It's not every day you want to have lands on top, is it? So we can get rid of 2 of their rocks this turn and ensure that they don't... I think they're just going to concede, guys. Which is a bit evil, but all we've done is scry. Scry, scry, scry. We could even make a blocker. We can make a blocker. Let's make a 4-4.
Everything is
Actually, if we make a 3-3, that's big enough viability to just defend the team a bit. And then now we can kill the Staff of Completion and then the Cult of Heart, and then they can't cast Jin. And do they just quit the game? We will find out. We've got them in such a bind. We can ultimate Teferi next turn already, which is just unbelievable. They could counter it, though, with a Stifle effect. Or... Right, Scry, so we're going to keep the line on top. So we've got the Vivarium Collector we really want to. I mean, we could even search a library for an instant sorcery card that shares a colour with the Planeswalker. To be honest, I'm happy to just ultimate. But if they're going to counter it. Do they have a Stifle? Oh my goodness, they have a Nimble Obstructionist to counter the ability. That sucks. Okay. Are they going to counter this as well? Raven form. I guess we can exile the Brawl. Ah, that's a shame. So we could have got 2 extra turns there, but... And a negate on top. Holy poo. So basically, either way, whatever we had done there, they would have countered the Teferi ultimate. So, yeah, it's not too bad. But he's really good. Although now I'm looking for... Yeah, let's hold that back. We want to have a couple of blockers to stop them getting into Teferi. Yeah, if they go for the... Wow, they still don't have mana. What's happened? I know it's a bit mean, but it brings me so much joy to take out mono blue players. Oh, it's so freaking awesome. So let's scry again. Yeah, we'll leave that on top. We'll try and fight the counter wall then with our one and only counter. I wonder if they were to stop Teferi again. I mean, there's a few ways. Cultivate, not very interesting. Keep scrying, man. She's so solid. If you can protect Kasmina, ludicrously good. And remember, guys, even if they counter our spells, we still get to proc the trigger of Cascade, because that is a separate ability being triggered. So no matter what happens here, Lantern of Revealing. Okay, they're really kind of keeping it kind of casual. No strings attached. Land? Yeah, that's fine. Playing more lands ensures we can go for Imoti again. So, they're not going to do anything. Then, you know what? We don't need to either. I don't want to waste an Epiphany on just not countering something. Another Tamiyo there. Not 6 mana there. I want to get more 6 mana things, please. We're getting close. Oh, okay, now that's a spell. And let's try and swing it in with the 3/3 here. So that is 3 mana to look at the top card. If it's land, put onto battlefield tapped. If you don't, put on the bottom. It's very good. Very good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So they're going to have to try and stop Teferi again. In Bolus's clutches. Counter, bounce, and everything else. So we'll try and return this. We get a clone of this, and we'll try and draw a card. If this fails, then we don't activate Teferi, because then they can just ultimate. Awesome. So that was the last-ditch attempt, and we showed them who's boss. Ooh. I'm kind of into this hand. This is cool. So they're playing Siona, which is Enchantment Matters? Yeah, Aura Matters. Okay. So when she's out, when she enters, look at the top 7. Reveal an aura, put it into your hand. And whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a creature, create a 1/1. Decent. Go for the goose. I absolutely love the Broken Bond. I don't think we see this card enough. I would implore you to try it a bit, use it a bit, see what happens. Sithis. Oh, this is great. This is great. So we can now kill the Sithis and ramp, which is absolutely perfect. Especially when you consider we're putting in a tap land anyway. So it helps us speed up. And another land, but it's our tapped one. So next turn, if we get an untapped mana source, we can go for Nissa, which is going to be awesome. Siona. I'd like to get removal for that. Okay. Garruk can make a dude, but I feel like they're just going to kill something that... Okay, we have to start somewhere though, right? Get 3-3. Something to block. The fact he can make 3 of those. Oh, sorry, no. He can -2 to create one, but then if an opponent has more creatures, then you get a loyalty. Oh, okay. So now that's flying. We're going to have to block with a goose if we want to keep Garrick alive. But to be honest, I'd rather have the mana for the Imoti. So that's a shame. That is a shame. Geist Wave, so we can return the Siona. Let's go for the Imoti. Not too worried about the Siona just yet. I kind of want them to load up a bit more. Oh no. Kazmina. So they're going to kill that as well. That's a shame. So, sadly, we... So they're going to kill her anyway. Maybe we just make a 1-1.
A perfect blend of math and magic.
Because I think I value the 1-1 over having a scry. But saying that, maybe it would have got me something good. Kenran's transformation. They're going to make Imoti. They're going to upgrade the toughness. Okay. So far, I'm still more scared of Sithis. This was more terrifying than the rest. So this one says +1/+1 and has trample. Seeing a lot of unusual decks today.
Dark days lie ahead.
Teferi, Master of Time. Yeah, we want to do this because we want to try and get another land.
If nothing else, I will protect the multiverse. Time to improvise.
Raven form. I'm starting to think this Nissa is not going to be so great against their flying army. And we'll swing in. I think we'll just swing in with a 3-3 there. If they block that, then so be it. Okay. Are they going to load Sono with anything else? I really want them to, so we can get rid of the 2-for-1 here. I mean, I know they're going to get another 1-1 doing that, but it's not going to draw them a card. Minimus Containment. Okay, we'll draw a card here. It's still going to be there if we can get rid of it, but...
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
So I think we're going to have to be proactive and get rid of the intervention. Because the land means we can go for 6 drops without having to use the goose. Although now the Teferi does let us use him for a treasure. It's just 2 damage though, right? We're not under that much pressure here. Okay, let's go combat. Let's swing with both now. So if they block the Imoti with 2 things... Oh, just one thing feels a bit half-assed. Not sure about that block. So we can use the Geist Wave to just like surprise balance the Minimus Containment. Let's foretell this for now. I'm not sure if I want to use this yet. It's just 2 damage flying. We'll be swapping 2 damage flying for 1 damage flying here. So I want to get something bigger. They're not playing anything really like that scary. And we're dealing 6 damage a turn. Jahira, hexproof from an artifact and enchantment. That's actually pretty good against mono white, considering mono white has stuff like this. Specialize. Let's have a quick look. When it's specialized, destroy 1 artifact or enchantment. Put a counter on each up to 2 other things. Intriguing. Okay, I think we'll let them do that and then target. They're going to target those things. What if I bounce the Minimus Containment? Does that still... It's not an artifact or enchantment, is it? So it doesn't destroy it anymore? I don't think that's an interesting interaction, though.
Think fast.
Oh, wow. 1 with the multiverse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we get a land, we can play this next turn, which is going to be epic. But sadly, Imoti will not trigger. I'm going to play it again. Just create a food token here. Sure. I mean, yeah, that's whatever. Kiora Best the Sea God. Or one with the... Oh, yeah, this is the play, isn't it? One with the multiverse, and then we can use the Best of Sea God as well afterwards. I think we might have them here now. We can even play lands off the top. And even without the Imoti Cascades, this is just so crazily good here. Oh, they've got a 3/4 now. Oh, okay. Sure thing. What are they going to do? Elish Norm. In normal situations, this would be utterly terrifying. But I think we're good. Considering we still have a 6/6 hexproof. And we're going to tap all the things in their turn. And we have a Jinga Taxis on top. I mean, that's a lot of ands we just said, right? So cast that for free. Oh wow, we even had to filter out, which we could have bounced everything back to hand. And then replayed them all. That felt brutal. Ooh, this hand is a bit slow. Let's mull this. And this hand is a bit incredibly good. Double Rampage. Always good to see. Into the north. And Arcane Signet. I think we go to the north first because it's easier to interrupt the Arcane Signet if they blow it up. Yeah, that would be my advice if you were wondering which of these to go for. Because artifacts can be destroyed and it can really mess up your game plan. Whereas lands are a bit harder to destroy. So by playing it, you're kind of ensuring you do get a land next turn. Whereas Arcane Signet is a bit of a risk. It can feel tempting. It depends on your strategy, of course. If you've got synergy with artifacts, you might want that out first, but yeah. So we've got 6 mana next turn already. Schmeagle. Wow, I don't think we can lose this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we lose this game, I'd be very surprised. Oh. We didn't need to cast that. Oh well, I got a bit excited. I thought I saw a Vivian Reed. Yeah, but we can't cast it because it costs 5. It has to be less than 5, sadly. So if they kill the Imoti here, we can go for Vorinclex and maybe follow that up with a Kiora Best Sea God next turn. But we'll see. We have pretty much double their mana. Destroy it and attempt them. Sure thing. So they're going to get to look at the top card and get a land into play. Or we could just go for Imoti again and just hope that it survives. Oh, so many good things we missed out on there. Oh well, we'll see them again one day. When we see you again. Have they just got a deck filled with kill spells? Probably. Inherited Envelope. Temptation. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent. Wow, it's pretty good. So it's a temptation deck. Or so whenever they kill one of our things, they get tempted. Or whenever they get tempted, they do the land thing. Okay, and it's a mill deck because why not? We can't block it with creatures with greater power. Do we want to block it with Imoti? I don't know, you know. I don't think so. I think if we go for the Epiphany next turn, they might not be happy about that. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 mana. If they want to sack Smeagol, they have 5 mana. But I'm very comfortable with our hand. Unless they make us exile our whole hand. But they can't do that with just 5 mana. They've got something confusing or something difficult. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana we're going to have on next turn. Still can only do one of these things. Come on, dude. Do people realise that you don't have to manually tap stuff anymore? You can drag the card and hover. I guess if you're playing on mobile, it's a bit different. So, right, get extra turn. Let's see what happens here. You know, it's it seems like an extra turn and Cascade is kind of OP, right? Hello there, and welcome to today's video, which is for Imoti, Celebrant of Bounty. Now, this is a card we used to see quite a lot in the meta, but I think it's dropped down a bit since the release of some other cards. So it's nice to revisit some of the stronger ones and see how they still cope. It's funny because it's an uncommon commander, but it's deceptive. It feels at least rare, in my opinion, because it will always give you a 2-for-1. I think that's always a really powerful thing to have on a command, and it's repeatable if you can return it to your hand, but we're not really focusing on that. So it's very simple: 5 mana, 3/1, Cascade, spells you cast with CMC 6 or greater have Cascade. And that's why the deck is so top loaded with these crazy expensive spells and not many 5-drops, because you want to be able to actually trigger this thing. Because I think a lot of people build Imoti wrong and go control with counter spells, but in this deck there's no counter spells, because if you Cascade into one, the only thing you can counter is Imoti herself on the stack, so you don't want to do that. You also don't really want to have X spells, because if you Cascade into an X spell, X is always 0 on the stack if you've not cast anything, so it's just going to fizzle. So no X spells, no counter spells, and it makes for a very interesting and very dynamic Simic build, which isn't like anything else. It was hard to like at the beginning because she was all over the place, but I think given some time and some other sets, we've got a bit of breathing space to kind of look and evaluate. So basically the deck has loads of ramp spells. You want to get as much mana into play as possible. Not return to nature. Into the north, get to land and to play tapped. Arcane Signet ramps you as well. You've got the Llanowar Elves, Gilded Goose, Elvish Mystic, and Delighted Halfling to your turn 1 mana, which is just ludicrous now. 4 1-drops at tap for green on turn 1 is crazy. And as soon as you've ramped out into lots of stuff, you want to kind of bank your expensive spells to play after Imoti has resolved. So the other part of the deck is it is slightly pseudo super friends, because I wanted to get the most value out as much as possible. And if you play 2 planeswalkers in a turn, it's very, very difficult for your opponent to tackle your army. So some of the best ones are Nissa, Ascendant Animus, which just wins the game by herself, which is just stupid how powerful this card is. We have Vorinclex as well to double the amount of loyalty counters on your planeswalkers. So sometimes you can just ultimate straight off, especially if you Cascade into Vorinclex or Vorinclex is cast and you can Cascade into something else. Something like a Vivian Reed to give your team -8 for her ultimate to give your team +2/+2 Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible is very solid. You've got Nissa that doubles all your forests when you tap for mana. Then the other Nissa Vital Force, which just gets stuff back from your graveyard to the battlefield. And also -6, which is really easy to ultimate whenever land comes in. Draw a card. Really strong. Loads of Planeswalkers. Obviously, you're going to throw the One Ring in here because it's just one of the best cards of all time. But yeah, it's just really fun. And it's random as such, which I'm not a huge fan of, getting random value. But I think it's much fairer than, let's say, Etali. Because when Etali comes in, each player reveals a top card until you hit another land and you cast them. So Etali's like double as good, essentially. But also Etali is more breakable because it's an ETB. Etali is just a mistake, in my opinion. This, in hindsight, actually feels a lot more balanced. And it's probably been replaced by Etali now, but I still think it's good in these colours. If you want to see the deck list, it will be in the description below, so make sure to check that out. If you have appreciated the video today and you like what kind of deck I've built, you can always donate to the channel using the donation links in the description box, which is you can become a YouTube channel member, you can donate via Ko-fi or Patreon to help the channel. So until next time, see you later. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.